Yo dudes! Welcome to sourdough level 2. So we thought time to bring in a pro. This is our friend Owen the Hunk, Real Men Bake Bread. Owen's an epic baker, as Dave calls a master baker. And we're going to do sourdough level 2. So how to make free form and autolization.
We're going to talk about that.
Wow, that sounds quite technical. Yeah, I know very little about sourdough, so I'm going to represent people who don't know much, okay, and ask a stupid question.
That's no problem. So we're going to make a really simple sourdough, really basic, but it's still going to deliver on all ends. It's going to deliver flavour, time. We're going to use the long fermentation process. So one loaf taking 16 hours from start to finish, but we're going to show you how to work it into your day, work it into your schedule.
16 hours constant labour.
Yeah, no.
No, so, the dough itself.
So simply we've got 600 grams of wholemeal flour, 100% wholemeal flour. And we've got a beautiful starter here. For those who don't know what a starter is.
Monoculture. So we covered that in the last video, so do check it out if you have any questions on how to start your own homemade culture.
Give me a 20-second, 30-second.
In essence, what you're going to do is you're going to take equal portions.
Just tell me what it is, not...
It's, in essence, that is wild yeast from the air with flour and water, and you have to, it's like having a pet. It needs to be fed every single day.
It takes time. It takes time. So you're going to add equal quantities of flour and
if you try it, let's just taste it there. Look. It kind of tastes like...
It's lovely.
Like almost strawberry-esque. It has like kind of real fruity, yeasty...
I don't know if I'd use the word lovely.
No.
I like it. It's very acidic. But like if you do smell it, it almost smells like beer, and that's why it's called sourdough, because it adds a slight sour flavour to it, but it also adds kind of a depth of flavour that you wouldn't get in a bread that's not a sourdough.
Yeah. And so simply all we are going to do is we are going to add...
How much sourdough do we have there?
We have 150 grams, but it's 3 simple ingredients. It's flour, salt, water. That's all we're doing here, and time.
And sourdough, yeah.
This versus your industrial loaf, your 37 ingredients, we don't need them. We need just 3 simple ingredients.
This is pure.
A really good flour, a really good sea salt, and water. Water, straight from the tap.
Are you not including sourdough as an ingredient?
Well, it's because it's flour and water.
Oh yeah.
So it is flour and water, but this is just grown over time.
Gotcha.
And that's
good.
That's literally the wild yeast from the air around us.
And this is what we breathe in every day. It's not bad for you by any means. By dipping it in here, it's really, really good for you.
Good
so it's full of bacteria that's really good for your gut and your digestion.
Awesome.
And it breaks down a lot of the gluten in the bread and makes it easier to digest.
So it gives, in terms of gluten, the quick run through gluten is that basically what we do with sourdough, when we mix it, it basically builds up your gluten strand like this. When we allow it to prove, which is over a long time, it comes to about here, and then we bake it, it's about here. So when it hits your tummy, it's just easier digestible, you know. So it's not, beautiful. We all have problems with our tummies, we're all suffering from bread, it's to do with really eating crap bread.
Yeah, this is real bread.
Real
men bake real bread.
So here we go, simply adding our culture.
So that's 150, so 500 grams of wholemeal flour, 150 of mother culture or starter. If you're worried if your starter isn't right, taste it. It should taste quite acidic and like kind of fruity.
Like a very acidic kind of yogurt, that kind of taste, isn't it?
And when you first make your starter, listen, bear with it. Take 3 loaves, 4 loaves, you'll get it right, you'll figure it out. And, you know?
It's quite an organic process.
How much water are we adding in?
300 ml.
300 ml.
Okay.
Now, simple. We normally can talk about a bit of autolization. I'll run through really quick, I won't get technical.
What is autolization?
Autolization is when you add water to flour, the water will naturally take the natural sugars that are in flour out, where salt slows that process down. So by us adding flour, water, and leaving for about 40 minutes, it gives the time for natural sugars to release before we add our salt.
Wow, that's autolization.
Yes, that's pretty much what autolization is.
You sound kind of like smart.
I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but,
it sounds great.
Autolization.
Beautiful word.
Here we go.
Okay.
So we're gonna...
So you don't need a bread mixer for this, you could just mix it with your hand.
You can mix it by hand, yeah. I always encourage people to try, make a couple of those by hand and learn the hard way in a sense, and then hit the mixer when you can.
Yeah, if you do have a mixer, it just makes it a little bit easier. As you can see there, we're not going to autolize this at all, really.
No, I've been playing around with different ideas with the autolization, and I really think that I'm getting the same results or close enough to results by putting the salt in now, so I'm happy enough with it.
How much salt have we added in?
We have added 15 grams of salt.
So therefore 1 level tablespoon.
There you go.
So just to recap, 500 grams of wholemeal flour, 150 grams of mother, 300 grams of tap water, and 15 grams of sea salt.
Sea salt.
So question now, people will often say, I'll hear them say, you have to use spring water, you have to use like perfect water that came from the mountains and
no fluoride, no chlorine,
whatever.
Yeah, well, I'd encourage people, especially when you're trying to get people to into bread, is to just use water direct from the tap. Spring water, all this is really good. We're looking to a Wicklow and Greystone, so the water coming in is really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm quite happy to use it from the tap. Not too cold. You're looking for a tepid water, as one might say, but
tepid kind of body temperature.
Body temperature.
That sort of thing. So in terms of mixing this, what are we looking for now?
We're looking for a slow speed for about 3.5 minutes, and then we're going to speed it up for 60 seconds on a higher speed. We're really just allowing the gluten to develop and building it up.
And so if I was doing this in a bowl, like just mix it in my hand in a bowl?
Yeah, mix it in by hand, out onto the work surface, and then knead by hand.
Knead for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So here we go. We have had our dough. We've allowed it to prove for 4 hours.
Okay, prove was you let it kind of ferment.
I did let it ferment, and now all we're simply going to do is take it from this bowl.
So say for example, so in the morning I mixed my dough.
Yes.
And I left it aside.
Yeah.
For, like if it was sitting there for 10 hours,
it doesn't really make a difference. In bread, in sourdough, the longer the better. More time, the better. It allows more flavour to develop. So that's why we take a process of making one loaf of bread taking 16 to 24 hours.
So taking pretty much a day.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wake up this morning, I mix my dough.
Yeah.
I leave it sit until I've done my day's
yeah.
work. I come back, oh, remember my
and then I have it like this.
Yeah, and then it comes out like this. All we're simply looking to do is different shapes, different sizes. We're going to go with this
wicker basket.
Wicker basket, yeah.
And is that what it's called? Just a wicker basket?
Yeah, it's called a wicker. It's a natural proving basket. This is I like using the wicker. You can get them in plastic, you can get them whatever else.
And literally, you're just going to flour it to stop it from sticking. So literally, just taking the flour and just making sure on all levels it's covered in flour so that the dough won't stick to it when you go to take it out tomorrow.
And we've allowed this dough. It's really, really nice. The fridge has slowed the whole process down. It's really relaxed. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to shape my dough to fit in here. So I'm simply going to over and over. Yeah. Then we're going to simply pin as we go. And all the time we're trying to trap the gas. We're not trying to knock the light. We're trying to, at this stage, we're trying to treat our bread, our dough with respect. So we put a lot of work in to get to this stage. So we're just pinning it in.
What does pinning mean?
Well, what I'm doing is when I roll out, I'm folding in, trapping the gas, and I'm just pinning. I like using the word pinning for locking in.
Okay, locking in the gas.
Yeah. And there, simply from this point here, we're going to put the seam side up. Why the seam side up?
So that it's in the bottom of the bread.
There you go, yes. So when we go to load this to the oven, it's a simple
Okay. Get the nice.
Now, from this point here, we are going to...
We're going to leave it overnight, and then we're going to bake it in the morning. So in terms of, just to recap, mix our dough in the morning, leave it to ferment. Yeah. Come back, do what we just did there, put it in a basket, go to bed. I wake up the next morning and go, ah, yes, it's grown loads. Put it in my preheated oven and bake it.
Okay, so super. We've allowed this proof. This has been proven overnight. So we're now going to simply pop it onto a tray. Remember yesterday we said about the seam side up. We're turning it out. And we're getting this beautiful lining here.
Very
beautiful.
Nice. Yeah. So this has been about 24 hours?
It's been about 24 hours. It's a really good way to look at it because we all have busy lives, we all do different things, you can still produce a loaf of bread. It's just time management.
And literally it's five minutes at 3 points during your day.
That's it, and job done.
And you have a beautiful, high quality loaf of bread.
And simply all I'm looking to do here is I'm going to score the loaf of bread. Why am I scoring the loaf of bread? Because I'm kind of control how high I want the bread to go, and also it's traditionally called a baker's signature. So I'm identifying this loaf of bread as mine.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So we're simply going like this. Yeah, so we're going to pop this guy in the oven at about 230.
230, so you bake quite
230, high. Yeah, bake quite high. I don't tend to put your home oven at about 250, even though it says that the oven tends to buckle, and I don't want people damaging their oven. Okay.
So 230 for how long?
230 for 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Now. So we've had the bread baking about 35 minutes, so we're going to pop it out.
Oh my God, that looks beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
Smells epic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, she's hot.
Yeah, she's good to go.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we'll leave her sit there for 10 minutes and then get back to her.
Oh, there we go. Super. Okay, she's out of the oven. We've let her cool. She is looking delish. It's time to break the bread, lads.
There we go.
With a knife. We're very civilized this time. A nice crust on it.
So this is 100% wholemeal.
Yeah.
As you see, it's quite light.
Very nice looking.
So in terms, just to recap, in the morning you'll mix your flour, 500 grams of flour, 150 grams of mother culture, 15 grams of salt, and 300 grams of water. Mix it together until you get a nice dough together. You'll have to knead it for about 5 minutes. Then you literally leave it for the day while you go off. When you come back in the evening, take it out. It was in the fridge. That was allowing it to ferment. Once you take it out, you're going to put it into a floured proving basket, pour it into that, leave it prove overnight. When you wake up in the morning, put it out on a bread tray, put a bit of flour on the bottom, bake it off, 230 degrees for 35 minutes.
There you go.
Bump, out it comes like this. break bread with friends, and enjoy. Boom! So tasty, really. I'm someone that absolutely adores sourdough. Owen has dedicated his life to it. I think it's something well worth trying. Check Owen out, Real Men Bake Bread on Instagram and Twitter. Epic guy, as well as a beautiful hunk. Thanks for watching.
Thanks so much.
And leave comments below if you've got any questions about sourdough.
Let us know.
We'll get Owen's help on it and we'll get back to you. So, yeah, happy baking.
Cheers.
Cheers for watching.
Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.